Okay, so trial and improvement. Right, so we definitely need a calculator on this one. And it says here that the solution lies between 3 and 4. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So I set out sort of like a row like this at the top, where I'm going to put my x value in this column. Then I'm going to work out what this actually is, and then I'm going to decide, is my x value too high or too low based on the solution I get. Okay, so we'll start off by looking at what they're telling us here, that the solution lies between 3 and 4. Now, if it lies between 3 and 4, okay, it's going to be 3 point something, right? 3 point something. So we always go for the middle value first, right? So if you think about it, between 3 and 4 is 3.5, yeah? 3.5. So we're going to put that into our calculator by substituting it into this here, right? So we'll have 3.5 cubed, take away 3.5, take away 49, okay? And we'll work that out on our calculator. So I'm just substituting in the value 3.5 there. So I'll put that in as you've got there, okay? And I'll press equals, and I get out, okay, it comes out as a fraction. So if I press the SD button, we'll write down what the answer is then as a decimal, okay? And it's minus 9.625. Now we want it to be 0, yeah? But it's actually come out as a negative, which means my x value here isn't high enough. I need to make my x value higher, because if I make it higher, then it will produce a higher result, okay, going towards 0. So I need to say here my x value is simply too low, okay? It is too low. So if it's too low, I need to try a higher value. And the next value I would try is 3.6, okay? Right? Don't jump steps, we go to the next one, 3.6. Now, what we can do then is if we press the replay button back, you can delete that and change the 5 to a 6. When we press equals, press the SD button, and then we'll write down our answer. Now, I'm not going to keep writing this formula down every time. I'm just going to put the answer down, okay? And that's good enough for the marks. Now again, you've got your answer out as negative 5.9, we want 0. So again, my x value producing this is too low. I need to try a higher value so I get closer to 0 there. So let's try 3.7. So I go back here, and the replay button, delete that. Delete that, I get minus 2.047, okay? Again, that's too low, okay? It's getting closer to 0, but it's still too low. So let's try 3.8. Okay, so go back. Now, 3.8, when I do that, press the SD button, it now comes up as positive 2.072. Okay, so now it's no longer negative, it's positive. So in effect now, it's come up with an answer which is too big, isn't it? Okay, because I wanted 0. So 3.8 is too high. Okay. 3.8 is simply too high because my answer comes out above 0. Okay, so we need to be lower than 3.8. All right, so look at what we've got. 3.7 is too low, 3.8 is actually too high. So it's somewhere between those two, isn't it? Somewhere between those two. So in order to show then, okay, in order to give our answer correct to 1 decimal place, you need to go in between these, right, and find a result. And what the examiners are looking for is for you to go halfway between these. Okay, so what I'm going to try next now is 3.75, right? Halfway between 3.7 and the 3.8 is 3.75, right? Okay, you can think of that if you want as 7080. So you know then halfway between 70 and 80 is 75, if that's easier. So then if we go back, change this to 75. Change this to 7.5, we get our answer to be minus, right, 0.015625. Now it's come out as a minus, which means it's too low, yeah? We want it to be 0, it's too low. So what I do then is I draw a little number line, okay, and just to sort of help me and see this visually, I draw the number line to be 10 centimeters, and I mark it halfway, okay, to be 5 centimeters halfway. And I'm going to put my 3.7 at this end, 3.8 at this end. Okay, now I knew 3.8 was too high and 3.7 was too low. And we check then in the middle. okay, which we did, didn't we? 3.75, which is also too low. Now, if 3.75 is too low, it needs to be a value which is higher than 3.75. And if it's higher than 3.75, it's clearly here somewhere, and it's going to be closer to 3.8. If it's here, it's closer to 3.8 than 3.7. So the answer is going to be 3.8 rounded to 1 decimal place. Okay, closer to that than it is to that.